Wanted, a just right government. Independent citizens seek awesome government. When the American colonists gained their independence from the British after the Revolutionary War, the Americans were faced with a problem. What kind of government should they have? They lived for years under British rule, and they had lots of complaints. Now they would create a government from scratch, and they had a few requirements. Independent citizens seek government that has enough power to do its job, doesn't give anyone too much power, considers the needs of all the states, lets citizens have a say, and protects individual rights. Independent citizens seek weak government. Their experience under the heavy-handed British rule left the newly independent Americans a bit skittish. Basically, they wanted a government that couldn't do much. They started by drafting a document called the Articles of Confederation. A confederation is a group of individuals united together for a purpose. In this case, the 13 states that had been British colonies before the war. The Articles of Confederation explained how 13 states would be governed as one nation. Here are the basics. Each state was independent and had its own government. Each state would send representatives to the Congress of the Confederation, a lawmaking body. Congress was the only branch of government, no president or courts. In Congress, each state got one vote. A rocky start. On one hand, the Articles of Confederation had qualities that citizens appreciated. Because the Articles did not set up a very strong government, states got to keep their power and independence. There was no powerful government telling them what to do. Citizens also wanted protection, and the Articles gave Congress the power to create a military to protect all the states. However, there were problems. For one thing, the Articles did not give Congress the power to enforce its laws. Congress also had no power to collect taxes to pay for the military. And in order to change the Articles, every single state had to agree to the changes. These and other problems meant that, in general, citizens felt like the relationship, or the government, wasn't working. Lots of differences. With 13 different states, there was no easy solution. Here's why. States had different needs. For example, some states depended on fishing, while others mostly grew on crops. States had different sizes. Some states had many people, others had few. People had different opinions. Some people feared a central government, while others thought a central government was necessary. The last one was especially troublesome. Many people feared that they would lose their freedom if a central government had too much power. Others were tired of the weak government created under the Articles of Confederation and felt like nothing would ever get done if nobody was in charge. Let's fix this thing. In 1787, representatives from every state except Rhode Island met in Philadelphia to fix the Articles. We called this meeting the Constitutional Convention because they ended up doing more than just fixing the Articles, they wrote the Constitution. But agreeing on a new way to structure the government wasn't easy. Some states floated a new idea. Why not create a government with 3 branches? The new government could have a legislative branch with a Congress to make laws, an executive branch led by a president to carry out laws, and a judicial branch with courts to interpret laws. It sounded good, but there was one major problem. How many votes would each state get in Congress? Voting in Congress. Yes, it's a big deal. Why? Because some states have a large population and some states have a small population. Under the Articles of Confederation, each state got one vote no matter how many people it had. That meant people in large states had less influence in Congress. Naturally, large states thought this wasn't fair. They thought they should get more votes because they had more people. Small states, however, thought it was a pretty good deal. Even though they were small, they had the same amount of power and influence as large states. They wanted to keep the one vote per state system. Battle of the plans. 2 different plans emerged, one favoring small states and one favoring large states. Can you tell which is which? The Virginia plan. Legislative branch has 2 chambers. Number of votes for each state depends on the state's population. The New Jersey plan. Legislative branch has 1 chamber. Each state gets 1 vote. The Constitution solution. The 2 sides, large states and small states, finally reached a compromise. The Constitution was the second and final attempt to write a document that would govern the United States, and we still follow it today. Under the Constitution, Congress is divided into 2 chambers, the Senate and the House of Representatives. In the Senate, each state gets 2 votes no matter what size it is. This favors small states. In the House of Representatives, the more people a state has, the more votes it gets. This favors large states. The Constitution also solves some other problems found in the Articles of Confederation. The Articles didn't require states to treat citizens from other states the same as their own, but the Constitution does. The Articles couldn't be changed unless all states agreed, but the Constitution can be changed if three-quarters of the states agree. The Articles didn't require states to follow the laws Congress passed, but the Constitution says federal laws are superior to state laws. The Americans were a lot like Goldilocks in the story about the three bears. They had to try different governments until they found one that was just right. Here's what you need to do to make sure you finish everything today. First thing, take the quiz. You know the deal. 3 questions, 6 points total. 1 point just for answering a question, 2 points for getting it right, 0 points for not getting it done on time. Open book, open note, and open internet. Find the answers where you need, but I recommend going back and listening to the video to find answers. Then we need to complete the review activities. They're checked for completion, and answers are provided on the following slides, along with guidance and instructions to find the correct answers. So make sure that you are following along with everything that happens on the next couple slides, and we get our work done on time.
We have one review activity to take care of today, which is this big old crossword puzzle. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to work through a few of these with you just to show you how I would do them. One of the big things that I recommend with crossword puzzle, each one of these boxes is clickable, so I would steer away from using the text box button. I would only be using this select tool in the top left there. So I'll do a couple of the across ones and show you where I find these answers. So number 3, the fraction of states that must agree to a change in the Constitution. So this one, so I have the copy of the reading open here. And if we look down here, the Constitution solution. So if we're talking about changing the Constitution, it's probably in the section that's about the Constitution. And if I read through all of this, I see something about changing the Constitution. Articles can be changed unless all states agreed, but the Constitution can be changed if 3/4 of the states agree. So obviously we can't just do like a 3/4 because that just doesn't work. So this one would be 3/4, so oh, no, I got that wrong. So THREEF, no, see, I skipped too far ahead there. OURTH. And I just bounced from each one using the tab key. Okay, so we've got that one. Number 5, under the Virginia Plan, these states would have more power. So if I look at this one, Battle of the Plan, I see the Virginia Plan right here, which is what we're focusing on. 2 different plans emerged, one favoring small states and one favoring large states. Can you tell which? So in the Virginia Plan, the legislative branch has 2 chambers, and the number of votes depends on each state's population. The New Jersey Plan, legislative branch has 1 chamber, and each state gets 1 vote. So if each state got 1 vote, no matter the population, you could have a very, very, very small population, but you would still be able to get the same amount of power as the Virginia Plan. While the Virginia Plan, which at the time had the most population, it would have helped them to get more votes based on their population. So I have a feeling the Virginia Plan is designed for bigger or larger states. So let's plug in for now if I tab there, LARGER, I would say that's going to be our answer there. All right, so let's go ahead, and I want to just check to make sure that one's correct. So let's do one down together. Early Americans had something in common with this fictional character. It actually is in here at the bottom. The Americans were a lot like Goldilocks in the story of the 3 bears. They had to try different governments until they found one that was just right. So yes, the story of Goldilocks and the 3 bears. So let's go ahead and type in Goldilocks, G-O-L-D-I, and then I see that I still have the L from larger, so I know that one is right. L-O-C-K-S. All right, let's do another one down. We'll do 2 down. These were the individuals in the Confederation created by the Articles. So these were the individuals in the Confederation in the Articles. All right, so let's take a look through here. Independent seeks a government that does this. So in the Articles of Confederation, I believe, if we look in this one here, We get a weak government. So it talks a lot about states. So I have a feeling this one is going to be states, and I start with an S there. So this is going to be S-T-A-E-S, not W, S. There we go. So overall, all of this can be found in the reading. So the rest of the across ones that we have to do are the branch that makes laws. States must treat their own citizens and other states' citizens this way. The branch that interprets laws. 13 across is the document that replaced the Articles of Confederation. 16 is one problem that states one problem was that states charged these on goods from other states. 17, under the Articles of Confederation, Congress could not do this to its laws, so states could just ignore laws. Number 19, Articles did not let Congress create this. Number 20, states send these to Congress. And number 22, under the Articles, America did not have one of these. Then we look at the rest of these. Number 4, under the New Jersey plan, these states would have more power. Number 6 is the branch that carries out laws. Number 8 is in the House of Representatives. The number of votes a state gets depends on this. Number 9, the Chamber of Congress, where each state gets 2 votes. Number 10, a group of individuals united together for a purpose. Number 11, Articles of Confederation was America's first plan for what? 14, one of the 2 things that people were afraid states might lose. Number 15, the Articles of Confederation was created a government that only had one of these. 18, the Constitution says laws passed by Congress are blank to state laws. And 21, one of the 2 things people were afraid states might lose. So I understand this crossword puzzle is definitely going to be challenging. I'm just looking for you to give this your best effort. So please just do your best, and that's all I can ask. And make sure you have this submitted by the end of the period.